Good morning, it's Karen at Simply Living for Him. I'm trying to stay out of the shadows here. It's a really bright and sunny morning, which is a good thing. So I'm here to do my daily devotion. I hope you find these videos to be a blessing in some way. If you do, I'd love to hear from you. Share them with a friend. So there's this section in the book of Matthew. It's in chapter 23, and it's called the 7 woes. And there are these warnings that Jesus is giving against hypocrisy, religious hypocrisy. And, we can all look at that and be like, oh, yes, that's those Pharisees, and that's for other people that are, religious. But no, it's really for all of us to take heed, to take warning. And to be careful. There's this one part in particular where Jesus is speaking to the Pharisees, and he says, woe to, it's starting, I don't have my glasses, so you're going to have to forgive me. It's starting in verse 25, and he says, woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside will also be clean. And this one event, and we can fake it on the outside, but Jesus knows what's going on in our hearts. God always knows our motivation. God always knows what's going on in our hearts. And we may look on the outside like, we're doing the things that we're supposed to do. But if our heart isn't in the right place, we may as well just be, doing all the wrong things, because an outward appearance is absolutely not what God is looking for. And it's, like I said, it's actually worse, because one of the commandments is not to lie. And so if we're trying to fake it on the outside and trying to impress others or look like we're doing good deeds or, get accolades for our good deeds, then we are not, fooling anybody, because if we're not fooling God. And actually, like it says here, this is not just like, okay, you're not fooling him, but there's these 7 woes, these warnings, these, it's almost like a grief over these hypocrisies. And the story that I wanted to tell you is, and this is just a way to kind of, in a funny way, illustrate this. So I was getting ready to go speak at an event, and I was worried about my gray hair roots starting to come in, and I hadn't had time to dye my hair before the event. And I don't have a ton of gray hair, but it's there, in the roots. And so I do dye my hair. And so I bought this little bottle of stuff to spray on my roots, and it worked. I was like, awesome, nobody will see my gray roots. And so it covered it up, and I was super excited, and I was continuing to get ready. And as I just said, I don't have my glasses with me, but I can't read without them. So I often will wear them, put them on my head, put them down, put them on my head, put them down, put them on my head, like all day long. And so I guess the hair dye hadn't dried yet. And I went downstairs, and I'm sitting at the table, and I was reading something, and I put my glasses up, and my son goes, Mom, why do you have big brown rings under your eyes? I went to the mirror. I should have taken a picture of it, because it's just such an illustration. I literally had brown rings under my eyes, because I guess the glasses had slid right through that hair dye spray that wasn't dry, and it gave me these rings. And I thought, isn't that a funny picture? You can't hide the truth. You can't, you can try to, fool people that your hair is brown, but your roots are gray. And if you try to fool people, you'll get found out, because you get brown rings under your eyes. So I just thought that was a funny picture, because when I was going to go speaking, I was going to talk a little bit about this subject, about, not faking it. God gave me an illustration. So Anyway, I thought that was a good illustration. As it says here, as Jesus's illustration is the best illustration, you can clean the outside of the cup all you want. But if the inside is filthy, like I'm going to go drink my coffee, right? And so it looks nice and clean, and that's wonderful. But if I go to drink the inside and it's filled with dirt and disgusting things, and I go to drink it, what good is the outside being clean? It doesn't even affect the inside. It's just an illusion. And so it's the same for us. If we are presenting something to the world that isn't actually who we are, what's the point? And honestly, God knows us. He knows what's on the inside. This piece of hair. He knows what's on the inside. He knows what's in my heart. And what is in our heart should overflow to the outside. So if you are, walking with God and you're being led by the Spirit, it's going to naturally overflow to the outside. You won't have to even worry about cleaning up the outside because your behavior, your attitudes, your actions, all of that will be an outflow, evidence of the Spirit working in you. And so I just wanted to remind you all today to work on our inside rather than our outside. Work on our hearts first and let that outflow. Don't try to fake it till you make it, because God knows. God knows what's going on the inside. So I hope that this encouraged you today. If it did, let me know. And until the next time, I wish you all the blessings and joy in Jesus today.